Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome to Charities Bubble USA, your number one channel. I'm here. I'm gonna do a short video when I am going to work. So I trust that you're doing fine, and I am also doing very well. It's time to go to work, but I have to incorporate and fix my video somewhere. So today I'm going to talk about two things, but first of all I want to thank my subscribers, guys, for subscribing to my YouTube channel, always for liking my videos, always for making those comments and asking those questions. You know, when you ask questions, it gives me material that I can talk about, and I really do appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly consider subscribing. Be a member of Charities Bubble USA. There is, if you click on my YouTube channel, there's a link there that says join. If you click on that, you can click on that and join and become a member of Charities Bubble USA. So I have two things that I want to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is the DV lottery when you applied with your family. And the other thing that I want to talk about is getting a job here in the US. So I'm going to talk about two things. But let me start with the DV lottery. And like I said, that process for DV 2022, normally it will end on September 30th. That's how it is, guys. And the question that I was asked is, and I was having a back and forth conversation with this person. They were like, they applied with the spouse, but then, so they had applied, the initial application they had applied married, and then this other application, you find that when you're filling out your DS-260, it normally asks you if you're going to travel with your spouse or you're going to travel later. Of which, before I even go to there, when you are doing the application of the DV lottery, guys, because it's going to be here in October, and you have to know these things, especially those people who are new, is that if you have a family, they must be included. You cannot say that you don't have a family if you have one. And at the same time, you cannot win a lottery and say that you have a family now since you have won. Those are some of the things that might make them deny you a visa. So the question was, this person, according to how I understood, and I stand to be corrected, I hope that person is going to watch this video, is that when they filled out the DS-260, they filled single. And initially they had filled married. Now, unless you have been divorced legally, or unless you have a legal separation letter, that one will give you trouble, a lot of trouble. Because even in the instructions, it says you must list your spouse even if you plan to be divorced. You must list them. Of course, if you are divorced, they are not going to benefit from your win, but you must list them. So here comes where I'm worried about this person, is that it looks like he wants to go by himself and not include his wife. Which that one can be a big problem, because if you had filed that you're married and they do not lose records, I told you guys, they start from where you started, all those records, they keep them and they keep on referring to them. So if you fill out your DS-260 that you are single and you want to go as single, you do not want to include your family, or maybe you say that you're going to travel at a later date. Now traveling is different, because you find that when the DV lottery visas, when the date expires on September 30th, there is not going to be any other DV 2022. They're going to start thinking about DV 2023. So if you haven't gotten your visa by September 30th, forget about it. Like, it is what it is. You forget about it. So I was thinking, if this person has already done all that and they're ready to go for their interview and all that, and I'm not sure if it's DV 2022 or DV 2023, but it doesn't matter, because it's the same thing, and the rules are rules and they have to be followed. So unless you want your spouse to travel later, but they already have a visa, because when you are going for the interview, I believe you're supposed to go both, all of you, because these people are your derivatives. They are deriving like they are benefiting from your win. So they are your family members. So traveling, they can travel later, but there is no way that you are married and then now you wake up in the morning and you think, I am not going to be married again and I am going to go by my own. Now, it doesn't work like that. Like, seriously, if you want to be denied a visa, now that's one of the things that will make them deny you a visa. That's one of the things that's going to make you deny you a visa. So what I can say is that do not change your mind. It's your family. I know sometimes it's hard to process these things because it takes money, but you have to, if you are married, you have to be able to go to through the whole process with your family members if you have your children, and then they can travel at a later date. Traveling at a later date means that you can come in, after you have come in and you have settled, then you can send them fare and then they can come. But there is no way that you're going to live there, especially with no visa and no anything and whatever. They do it as a whole. You go as a whole family to get your visa. You don't go in separate whatever. No, it doesn't work like that. So it's important to do not leave your family behind. And you find that if this person wants to go as single and they had filled out that they're married, unless you produce a separation certificate, unless you produce a divorce certificate or a divorce paperwork, you find that you will put yourself in trouble and you might end up losing that chance. And you find that when you win a DV lottery, it's a chance of a lifetime. Do all your best. Do all your best and process it. It doesn't matter even if you have to sell a piece of land. You know, when you have gotten the visa after you are processed, you find that you cannot sell your piece of land before you have gotten the visa. No, but you have to look for ways to get money. Don't quit your job, continue working, get that money and process for you and your family. So it's very important. I felt like I should talk about that because I don't know if this person just wants to forget about his wife and all that, because if you forget about your, that question is going to come up during your interview, and they will be like, are you married or your spouse or whatever? Why or what changed? You know, it's very, very important. And if something changed, you have separated, you have divorced, you must have that paperwork, guys. It's very, very important. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about, like I said, I'm going to talk about two things. I want to talk about jobs. There's some people who have reached out to me and they're telling me if I can get them a job here in the US. Now, jobs are very many here in the US. Like, there are so many jobs. Everywhere you go, you find a notification, a poster, whatever, that they need a job. But you find that for you to come here and maybe I look for a job for you and then you come and work, that is impossible. And I don't like talking about something that I cannot do. You know what I mean? It's good to be honest and it's good to be the truth, because you find that there are things that have, there are laws here that if you do not have the right paperwork, you are not supposed to work. And that is why I tend to always talk about the DV lottery. Sometimes there's a video I did about the student visa. I tend to talk about those ones because those ones, at some extent, you can work. Because when you come with the DV lottery, you have come here legally and you get all the paperwork to go and get a job. If you come here as a student, of course, different institutions, they have their own ways. And after you have studied for a while, of course, you won't come here the first semester and you're telling them that you want to go to work. No, unless you apply for a job there in the campus, maybe they can give you. But you find that it takes a process before they let you go work outside. It does. Now, let's assume that you have been invited by someone here, you have come to as a visitor. When you go to the embassy, you tell them, I'm going there to visit, I'm going there for a graduation, I'm going there for a wedding, I'm going there for a funeral. That is what they write down. So you cannot say that you are coming for a specific thing and then you come maybe at the port of entry, they ask you and you change your mind, you tell them I am going to look for a job. They are going to send you back home. They are going to send you back home immediately because that is not why you came. So it's impossible, guys, for me to get someone a job here and then I call you and then you are coming here to work because you do not have an immigrant visa. If you come here as a visitor, that's a non-immigrant visa. And you find that even when you're filing for your citizenship, even when you're a permanent resident, there are questions that you answer. They ask you, have you ever aided someone to come into this country illegally? Have you ever helped someone to come here illegally? Now, I cannot do that because it's the law. They do not want you to do that. But that's why I tell you, try the right things. Try the DV lottery. Try, if you want to come to school, try applying for universities. Like we are going to open school in fall. If you're doing an application, I think it could be a little bit late because we are going to open schools in August. That's when the school year ends. But you can always try next year. But it feels like, sometimes I look at those messages, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish you guys would understand. If you come here and you do not have the right paperwork, guys, it is so stressful because nobody is going to give you a job. Nobody is going to give you a job, and you do not want to come here and end up becoming someone's slave or someone who is mistreating you because they know that you don't have the right paperwork, so they are not going to pay you what you're supposed to be paid, because you find that even when you come here, like us, when we work, you find that we have to pay taxes. That's the law. We have to file our taxes. Every time you get a paycheck, it has to be taxed. You see what I mean? So I wouldn't tell someone that I would get them a job because I would not be truthful, and I like to be truthful. What I do in my YouTube channel, I like to be truthful. But what I can tell you is try the DV lottery. It's gonna start in October, and when it's on, I'll still do a video and let you guys know when it's on. But telling me to get you a job, that's kind of tricky. It's hard because if you do not have the right paperwork, guys, you don't get anything. Because you find that, let's assume you came here with a DV lottery and you have the right paperwork, you have the ID, you have your green card. When you go to look for a job and you have your social, of course, because you have to have those 3 things. You have to have your green card, you have to have your social, and and you have to have your ID, of course. And if you're a student, you find that your social is a little bit different. Now, they go and look for in a website. They verify. It's called verify. They want to check if you are legally allowed to work in the US, And if your name is not there, they don't see you because you have to be in their database. You are not going to get a job. Now, you can come through an agency. There's a video that I did about cruise ships. You can apply through that. And, you can, if you come with a work visa, they have their own ways, their own regulations that they follow. So I'm not saying that you cannot come here, but you'll find that if you go to that video, I had done it a while ago, but I can link it here so that you guys can see it or can watch it, especially those who are telling me to get a job from them. You can apply. I'm not saying that when you apply, you will get it immediately. No, but you can apply as many times as you can and see if you're going to get something. That's all that I can tell you guys, because I have to be truthful and I have to tell you the truth. But if you want to come here and you do not have the right papers, you want to come, you are a visitor and you don't have the right papers, you will suffer. Believe me, you will. You will suffer because without the right paperwork, it's hard, guys. It's very, very hard. And you don't want to come here and be depressed. You don't want to come here and become frustrated. You don't want to come here and be, hate people because you think that they are not helping you. No. So it's important that you know all that stuff. So when I say no, when I tell you I don't think that's possible, when I reply to you, I've given you the reason. Because there are rules and bylaws here, whereby if you don't have the right papers, you're not allowed to work. Those are the laws, and it is what it is. And I felt like I would talk about it so that I can clear there. So guys, I've talked about those things. I've talked about including your spouse in your DV lottery, and I have also talked about jobs, getting someone a job. So I hope this video is going to benefit someone, and I am going to end. I'm almost at work. So I will talk to you here in a little bit and do another video. So leave your comments there, like my video. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing, and I will see you in another video. Thank you and God bless you.